We begin with a trade-off of sorts from Governor Andrew Cuomo, a deal he hopes will help smooth the path to higher wages. Good evening, I'm Cody Holyoke, hands on assignment. Facing state business leaders today, Cuomo said he's considering offering them a tax cut to help offset the cost of his plan to raise the minimum wage to $15 across the state. We bring in CBS 6's Jennifer Lewke. She's here now with more on the possible proposal and whether businesses are willing to bite. That's a big if.
Yeah, and you have to consider the audience here. The governor made these statements while he was at a breakfast hosted by the Business Council, so he knew his crowd. Most businesses are not in support of a $15 minimum wage, so in order to try and gain some momentum for his proposal, it's likely he knew he had to budge a bit.
We've changed.
It's pretty obvious why many businesses don't support an increase in the minimum wage.
I'm sure somebody might raise the question that it's going to increase the cost of doing business. There is no doubt.
No doubt for people like Kevin Matthews. He owns the State Street Car Wash in Schenectady and says talk of hiking pay for his workers is worrisome.
As a small business, it gets me concerned because I won't be able to support as many jobs that way. I'd have to look at my bottom line, and it might result in me cutting jobs and trying to do more with less. What I do to help my associates is they get tips, they get commissions, so we get them to $15 an hour without the minimum wage starting at that point. So I wouldn't want to take the commissions and the tips away from them to try to absorb that extra cost.
The governor appeared to acknowledge those concerns today, offering a compromise of sorts.
Because you could wind up with a win-win here. If you can raise the minimum wage, bring more New Yorkers into the economy, $15 billion more coming into the economy, phase it in, and have a tax cut program for businesses that's giving businesses a break that compensates, well, that could be a real win-win.
If it's an even swap out, then I'm okay. But, it's hard to tell. And in the tax, it always comes from how much business you're doing. So would that be a benefit if I have rain all month versus me paying $15 an hour for minimum wage? I don't know.
And until there's a plan on paper, he's not even considering support of the increase.
Now, the governor has been traveling around the state pushing this minimum wage issue all summer long. And basically, you'll remember last week he held a press conference with the vice president. Joe Biden was here, and they were pushing for this as well. Their plan is to try and phase it in over the next 5 years.
Okay, well, we know, at least with the fast food wages, that's not going to take effect, at least up here, for, about 6 years or so. When is the governor going to start to try to push this measure through the legislature?
Yeah, well, unlike the fast food wage board, the governor would need full legislative approval to get this done. And he plans, he says, on introducing legislation next session. So this coming, fall, very soon. So we'll see. I mean, it needs a legislative approval, and we'll see where all of our lawmakers fall on the issue.
Certainly going to be a hot button topic for sure. Jen, thanks so much.